What's going on, everybody? I hope you're having a fantastic Friday. TGIF, everyone, and welcome to the Black and Blue Injury Report for the New York Giants, December 2nd, 2022, as the Giants get prepared for their all-important game this Sunday at MetLifeStadium, Week 13, against the division rival, Washington Commanders. And we just got the game statuses for the New York Giants, who's going to be playing, who's going to be out, who might be playing, and who's going to be returning for the New York Giants this Sunday. Now, there's three players that are obviously not going to play this Sunday that were pretty much ruled out probably at the beginning of the week because of the fact that they were not even at practice at all. And that's, of course, Joshua Ezeudu, Adoree Jackson, and Shane Lemieux. All three of those guys are not going to play in this game on Sunday against the Washington Commanders. Joshua Ezeudu with the neck injury, Adoree Jackson with the knee injury, and Shane Lemieux with the toe injury. They are all going to be out for this game against the Commanders, so do not expect these guys to be back this week. I don't even know if they're going to be ready next week. I don't expect Adoree Jackson to be back. The news on Shane Lemieux does not sound promising, and Joshua Ezeudu with the neck injury, I don't even know when he might be able to come back. So the Giants are going to be down a couple of interior offensive linemen and their starting cornerback on the outside. So that's the negative news right now. Now we get to a little bit of the positive news. And I'm going to start with the players that are not even listed on the injury report right now. That is Evan Neal, which is a big one for the Giants. Azeez Ojulari, he's also not listed on the injury report. So you're going to get Evan Neal, Azeez Ojulari, and Tyree Phillips, who has been playing as the right tackle filling in for Evan Neal. He can now go back to being that swing tackle for the New York Giants. So Neal, Phillips, Ojulari are all going to be ready to go for this game. So the Giants are going to get back their starting outside linebacker opposite Kayvon Thibodeau. They're going to get back their starting right tackle. Ben Bredeson is not going to be back. I do not expect him to play in this game. So Bredeson will be out for this game going forward. But in terms of the Giants that are questionable for this game, you have Daniel Bellinger, who has the orbital fracture. He's now listed as questionable. He's gotten a couple of limited practices in this week. I think he's trending towards playing. We'll have to wait and see. But it just sounds like that Bellinger will make his return for the New York Giants against the Washington Commanders this Sunday, which is a big boost for this team because they could definitely use a guy like Bellinger back in the lineup starting at tight end. So that's a huge boost if that is in case the story. Dane Belton, is reserve safety, third-round pick out of Iowa. He has the he had the clavicle issue that he's been dealing with since the offseason, since training camp and preseason when he fractured it all the way back in early August. He is also questionable for this game, but I expect him to be out there and play. He had the same issues last week, and he was still able to go out there and contribute for the New York Giants. I don't know how many snaps he's going to get, but I believe he's going to be out there to help the team on offense. Gary Brightwell has been dealing with an illness issue. We got a couple of limited practices in the past couple of days. After not practicing on Wednesday, I think he's going to be ready to go for this game on Sunday to help out that New York Giants rotation in terms of the running backs over. Carter Coughlin, he's dealing with the thigh issue. He's also questionable for this game, but I believe that he's going to be trending and ready to go for this game as well. So I expect that Carter Coughlin will be out there as a reserve linebacker and mostly to help out at special teams for the Giants on Sunday. Jon Feliciano will be back probably at center. He's questionable for this game, but I expect him to play. So I think he's going to be the one to play for this game at the center position. So I expect him to be out there. So good to have the center, Jon Feliciano, back out there for the New York Giants. Darnay Holmes, he's been dealing with a shoulder injury. He's questionable as well, but I think he's going to be available to play. So they're going to get Darnay Holmes out there around the slot position. He's going to be able to contribute going forward. Richie James, he has the knee issue he's been dealing with the past few weeks, but he's been a go pretty much the entire time. I expect him to be able to play, and he's going to be situated in that slot wide receiver role. He's probably going to be the number 2 wide receiver for the New York Giants this Sunday. Fabian Moreau, who is actually one of the biggest boosts for this team, he's been dealing with the oblique injury. He got 3 straight limited practices, so I believe that Moreau will be back for the Giants starting at cornerback for the team, and he's actually been playing pretty well. So this is going to be a boost for that secondary, getting Moreau back out there. And then Darius Slayton, who's come down with an illness the past couple of days. He has not practiced the past couple of days because of that illness, but head coach Brian Daboll has been saying that he's hopeful and optimistic that Darius Slayton will be able to play in this Sunday's game against the Washington Commanders, which would be a major boost because Slayton has been operating as the Giants' de facto number one wide receiver for the past few weeks, ever since Wan'Dale Robinson, Sterling Shepard have gone down, Kenny Galladay's been ineffective, and Kadarius Toney got traded to the Kansas City Chiefs a few weeks ago. So the Giants are going to be a lot more healthy, it looks like, going into this pivotal game against the Washington Commanders, which is a positive. Sure, you'd like to have Bredesen back at left guard. Sure, you would like to have more depth at the guard position. And obviously, you'd like to have Adoree Jackson back out there. But you get an Azeez Ojulari back at the outside linebacker position opposite of Kayvon Thibodeaux to help out with that pass rush. You're more than likely getting Daniel Bellinger, Evan Neal, Fabian Moreau, Jon Feliciano. All these guys are going to be back for the New York Giants to help out. All these guys are going to be back to help out this New York Giants team heading into the most important football game for the New York Giants in the past 6 years since we made the playoffs back in 2016 and we got bounced in the first round against the Green Bay Packers in the wild card round in Green Bay. This is the most important game for the New York Giants. Hopefully they can get it done, and a lot of these guys that are questionable right now will be on the football field in some type of capacity going forward. And, of course, if you want just the latest around Odell Beckham Jr., even though it's not part of the injury report, Odell Beckham Jr. did visit the New York Giants the past couple of games. He, in fact, stayed over Sterling Shepard's house last night. He continued his visit today. Apparently, it went very well. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen with OBJ, as he's going to be off now, going to visit Dallas and Buffalo over the weekend to conclude his meetings before he eventually decides on what team he's going to sign with heading into the rest of this NFL season. Or maybe he's just scouting to see what teams he might decide to sign with in the offseason if they believe that Odell Beckham Jr. might need a little bit more time to rehab that torn ACL that he suffered in the Super Bowl last year when the Rams were playing against the Bengals. So that is your black and blue injury report for the New York Giants. One more time, I'm going to read it. Shane Lemieux with the toe injury, Adoree Jackson with the sprained MCL, and Joshua Ezeudu with the neck injury. They will not play this Sunday. There's no players that are doubtful in this game. Daniel Bellinger with the fractured orbital socket. Dane Belton with the clavicle. Gary Brightwell with an illness. Darius Slayton with an illness. Carter Coughlin with a thigh injury. Jon Feliciano with a neck injury. Darnay Holmes with a shoulder injury. Richie James with a knee injury. And Fabian Moreau with an oblique. They are all questionable for this game. Leonard Williams, Azeez Ojulari, Evan Neal, and Tyree Phillips, who were limited at points at practice this week, but Phillips and Neal were full participants. They will all be present and will be back playing for the New York Giants this Sunday. And it looks like that Bellinger, Belton, Holmes, James, Moreau will all be trending towards playing in this game. Slayton, have to see how he's going to feel. But that's your black and blue injury report for November 2nd, Friday, 2022. If you guys like this video, hit the like button below. Sub up if you haven't already to NYGJeffyT85 for more breaking news, updates, and chatter and injury reports surrounding the New York Giants. Turn on the bell for notifications of the next video or short that's going to be dropping on the channel surrounding the New York Giants. And let me know in the comment section what you think about the latest injury status for the New York Giants as they get prepared and they get ready for their very important game this Sunday at MetLifeStadium against the Washington Commanders, the biggest game for the New York Giants in 6 years. It looks like they're going to be getting a bunch of their key players back. We'll have to wait and see what will happen. So I thank you very much, everybody. Have a great rest of your Friday. Take it easy, and as always, let's go New York Football Giants. Let's get the job done this Sunday and improve to 8-4 on the season. Together, Blue, everyone.